is the love of the way. Brother, you better get down on your knees and pay 1,000 more fools are being born every fucking day.
Tonight's show is brought to you by...
Did you get beat by the police for trying to burn down the courthouse? That may be actionable. Jimmy James here with James, Jameson and Johnson, and it's riot season in America! That means it's time for you to get that riot money, honey! Did you get caught tossing a Molotov cocktail at a cop car, and now you're facing hard time? That's not your fault! The TV made you do it! So we're gonna sue CNN! Did you get knocked out by a Civil War monument because you pulled it down on your head? We're gonna sue Popular Mechanics. They gave you the wrong instructions! Maybe you didn't even go to a riot, but it doesn't matter because we're just gonna say you were wearing a face mask. One way or the other, we're gonna put that money in your pocket, people, because the governor's not gonna let you go to work till November, and you blew your stimulus check a long time ago. So pick up your phone and dial 1-800-JUST-JIM today. That's 1-800-JUST-JIM.
All right, welcome to episode 41 of the War on Morons, where we speak truth to stupidity. I'm Jay.
And I'm Anissa.
And thank you for joining us once again for another week in the struggle of satire versus stupidity. As always, we've got plenty of fun lined up for you tonight with cretinous criminals, puerile politicians, Hollywood halfwits, and Florida fuckwits.
And really, I mean, isn't that all pretty much the same thing?
Yeah, I'm just trying to make it sound spicier. I mean, no points for alliteration?
All right, I mean, granted, I do like Florida fuckwits, so... Anyway, we'll get right into the headlines in just a minute, but first, we want to remind all of our listeners that if you're a fan of the show, subscribe to our RSS feed for free at thewaronmorons.podbean.com. so you never miss a podcast. And make sure you follow us on YouTube, Twitch, DLive, and at facebook.com/waronmorons to watch our live video stream every Monday night.
That's right. And if you're watching live now, we'd love to hear from you, and so would all the other listeners. So call into our hotline. It's 813-906-9099. If we can, we'll bring you on live on the broadcast, or at the very least, you can leave us a voicemail message, and we'll get it onto the next show.
Absolutely. And now let's get into this week's top morons.
All right. So I'll start off today. So for our first story of the night, we've got yet another adjustment to the ever-changing recommendations about COVID face mask policy. How
many adjustments can they freaking make?
Don't give them a challenge because they're gonna exceed it. I mean, as if Dr. Fauci's silliness last week about needing to wear goggles and earmuffs wasn't dumb enough. Another so-called coronavirus expert went on CNN last week to tell Americans that we should start strapping on these masks in the comfort of our own homes.
Wait a minute, so COVID can, open doors now and walk right into our living room?
Yep, apparently it's evolved into the velociraptor of viruses, because according to some idiot named Dr. Deborah Birx, who's apparently the White House coronavirus advisor, how many of them do they need? But anyway, she says we're not even safe behind closed doors, and we're not even safe when we've got no company besides our families and our housemates.
Look, I thought the 6-foot rule was a little ridiculous, but then I heard the way you tried to say velociraptor just now.
Hey, what do I look like? Ian Malcolm? Come on. Anyway, at this rate, they're just going to tell us to dig a 6-foot hole and crawl in, since apparently we're all just the Walking Dead for a virus that, just to remind you, has barely infected 2% of the population. And 98% of the people who do catch it fully recover from it. But, get in the fucking coffin, America. Get in the coffin.
Yep, and look, if Dr. Birx can't convince you to wear a mask at all hours of the day and night, Maybe some crazed random Karen can. On Manhattan Beach in California, a wild Karen appeared and went ballistic on a man who was eating a burrito without a mask.
How dare he?
Right. Now, he did claim to the Karen, he tried to appeal to her sense of logic and said, it's kind of hard to eat a burrito with a mask on. Now, when this wasn't enough for this left-wing loon and her male companion, the burrito eater explained that, to go a little bit further, he didn't even support wearing masks in the first place.
That really doesn't seem like the best way to, to diffuse the situation.
Well, look, remember, we do not report on stories about smart people, okay? So, upon the revolution that she was amongst the enemy, this masked Karen decided to throw hot coffee in the man's face, which is assault. The burrito eater,
He threw hot coffee in his face?
Yes.
I mean, like, if she was worried that he was going to get, sick from a virus, what did she think that was going to do to him?
Well, I don't think she was necessarily worried about him getting sick. It was probably more about her. So, at the end of the day, the craziest part of the story is yet to come, believe it or not. The burrito eater did defend himself. He started throwing a punch at this Karen's male friend and telling him, hey, call this bitch off. Like, what are you doing here? Instead, he called the cops claiming he was assaulted, and the cops showed up, and get this, they actually told both parties to apologize to each other and arrested absolutely nobody.
Well, yeah, you can't put people in jail. There's coronavirus in jail. Haven't you heard? That's why they released the sex offenders and, thousands of felons in California. They don't want them to catch the virus.
That's one thing, and it's unbelievable that that's even the world we live in. But then, what did the burrito eater have to apologize for? He was just minding his own business, trying to eat some food, and he got assaulted with hot coffee. He got the cops called on him. Like, what was he supposed to say sorry for exactly?
He was not wearing a mask while he was eating his burrito. They make masks that open up in the middle where you can eat your food. I don't even know. Let's just move on from that one. Anyway, if you think that last story was extreme, one man in Pennsylvania, on the opposite side of the great mask debate, he took things to the next level last week when he got into multiple gunfights rather than comply with local mask ordinances.
What? Yikes. I guess that's one way to keep, social distance.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, this guy went crazy. First, on Friday, he was at, a cigar shop. Clerk told him he couldn't enter the shop without a mask. So, in response, the guy grabs a couple cigars, storms outside, then pulls out a handgun and starts shooting into the store.
Sounds like robbery with extra steps.
Yeah, once you're outside, just, take your cigarillos and get out of there, buddy. But Anyway, not to be outdone, on the next day, the same guy got into a shootout with 7 police officers with an AK-47.
Wait, what do you mean the next day? Like, they didn't bring him in after the first incident?
Oh, no, he didn't have enough sheriff badges in the corner of the screen, apparently. But the next day they were coming by to pick him up for the cigar shop incident, I guess. And
okay,
yeah,
that makes sense.
So he thought, I'm not, you're not taking me alive, copper, and he starts a shootout with a machine gun, and he survived. The cops just shot him in the butt and in the leg. And he's in custody now, so I guess the Walmart greeters and grocery store cashiers in Bethlehem Township are safe for the time being.
Christ, what an idiot! Honestly, and he's lucky, too, to go off with an AK-47 against 7 cops and still be alive. That's ridiculous. But at the end of the day, the thing that gets me is everybody knows the one time it makes absolutely perfect sense to wear a mask is if you're going to be getting into shootouts with law enforcement and committing theft.
Exactly. The best part of this story is this quote from this guy's attorney. So asked what caused his client to go all Michael Douglas and falling down, the lawyer said, quote, "He's just not handling the pandemic well."
Oh, is that so? Really? I mean, that might be true. That might be true. He may not be handling this pandemic very well, but you know what? I bet he'd do absolutely fantastic in the Mad Max phase of all this.
No, I don't think he would. I mean, he shot at 8 different people and he didn't hit a single one.
Okay, good point. Speaking of folks who aren't handling the pandemic well, one Florida man on the, again, flip-flopping from pro-mask to no-mask, so back to the
dumbass,
no-mask.
Dumbass, either way. Pro-mask, anti-mask, dumbass.
Right. So one Florida man found himself enraged in a hotel lobby that wasn't adequately enforcing social distancing. So he walked over to a woman and her son, confronting them, stating, quote, "You aren't social distancing, so you all need to leave." A woman and her child son aren't social distancing adequately enough for this man.
Wait, he wants them to be, like, separated from each other?
Right, 6 feet apart, no touching, no... Right.
Okay.
So in order to drive his point home, because apparently, they didn't take him very seriously at first, he pulled out his gun and started shooting.
Jesus Christ. I mean, you just can't win with these people. I mean, they want gun restrictions until they see a family standing together closer than 6 feet, and then all of a sudden they're fucking John Rambo?
Rambo, this guy wasn't. Since again, this was luckily a case of a gunman with the worst possible aim. Who are these people and why do they own guns? Why are they so willing to just pull them out and start shooting if they know damn well they can't hit anyone? This guy pulled off 6 rounds and hit absolutely 0 people.
Well, thank God for that, at least. But, Jesus, though. I just can't even picture, he's in a little hotel lobby and he's just firing gunshots off, saying what, get away from each other, scatter,
that's one way to do it. That's one way to get people to scatter for sure. I just can't believe that apparently this is the world we live in now, and people, we really need to be doing some serious self-reflection, because apparently everybody has taken everything so extremely that people are turning into lunatics. They just start shooting the minute they're triggered by someone doing something other than what they would want them to do. It's a matter of, controlling other people. It's absolutely psychotic, and this is what we call freedom. Yeah. Unbelievable.
Yeah. Well, with bullets, hot coffee, and everything in between flying at you everywhere you turn these days, maybe some kind of facial protection is a good idea. But what do you do if those face masks cut off your oxygen and cause your glasses to fog over?
Well, probably get shot by a mask Nazi, right?
Sadly, but you might think that's what would happen, but that's where a British magician, I'm just going to make it a little bit light now. So a British magician named Andy Clockwise actually stepped in to save the day. So Clockwise has made the headlines with his new video demonstrating how to turn a Krispy Kreme donut box into a face shield in under 2 minutes.
Okay, maybe I'm just, I'm not understanding here. He made the headlines for putting an empty donut box on his head? How the hell is that magical?
I just don't know anymore. Some idiot news director out there thought this was news. With everything going on in the world, they found time to do an item on this. What, was Buckethead busy or something?
Oh my God. How would Buckethead protect anybody from COVID? All he does is wear a KFC bucket on top of his head. It's not even over his face.
Well, no. The Buckethead wouldn't protect people from COVID. He'd protect them from the riot.
Oh my God.
To be fair, that was a stupid joke, but to be fair, it's just as effective as these goddamn bandanas that everybody's walking around in, Bucket of chicken on your head, box of donuts on your head, plastic bag, whatever.
Yeah, at this point, who the hell cares anymore, right?
Yeah.
Luckily, we're getting a call in right now. So
no, this conversation is going way off the rails.
Yeah, for sure. I'll go ahead and take this one. It's an international line. Caller, you're on the air. Tell us your name and where you're calling from.
Yes, this is Bryan Bedford. Bryan Bedford, of course, of Brainboozled. And I'm calling on location from Cardiff. How are you?
Hey, Bryan, I'm good. Yeah, I recognize your voice. I think we played your commercial last week.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. You played my commercial last week. I'm excited. I cannot express my level of excitement for my upcoming premiere of Brainboozled with Bryan Bedford on Channel 4. But I didn't call to talk about that. I actually wanted to give you a little bit of insight.
Oh.
You were talking about what you called a magician, anti-clockwise. I couldn't believe when I heard his name mentioned on your program.
Oh, you know of him? I'd never heard of him before.
Dude. Yeah. I know of Andy. I mean, pardon my French, as they say, but he's a fucking joke. I mean, he's a hack. He's an utter hack. He does not deserve to be called a magician. Essentially he's a prop comic. I mean, let me see if I can think of an apt comparison. To call him a magician would be to call Carrot Top. You know Carrot Top?
Yeah.
You know Carrot Top? Yeah. If you call Andy Clockwise a magician, you could call Carrot Top a fucking grand warlock.
Okay.
He's a fool. He's a hack. He doesn't know anything about magic. I mean, what were you saying he did? He put a fucking donut box on his head.
Yeah, he did like some kind of gag where he tried to turn a donut box into like a mask for COVID. I don't know. It was pretty idiotic.
Stupid.
Yeah.
What the hell does that have to do with magic? I mean, all that proves is he can make donuts disappear into his fucking gut.
Yeah.
Look, I mean, as an expert, I mean, I would say, I'm not being, I don't think I'm being out of line at all if I say Bryan Bedford, am the world's most foremost illusionist and mentalist. I don't care if you want to say David Blaine, rubbish, Chris Angel. I mean, you want to mention Darren Brown? I mean, I wipe my arse with Darren Brown. I am a real magician, and there's a reason that I have a premiere next month, and Andy Clockwise is apparently trying to get notoriety by putting fucking donuts in his gut. I just can't get over it.
Yeah, it's pretty idiotic, which is why we covered it. I mean, clearly his magic career isn't taking off if this is the thing we know him for.
Hey, maybe he could get some work as an extra on Brainboozled. If I ever need someone to play an idiot, I'll invite him to the studio. But while I have you on the line, I thought maybe since you expressed a bit of interest in magic, maybe I could show you some real magic. Would you be game, as they say?
I mean, I don't really know what you could do over the phone, but I mean...
Oh, no. I'm not going to Brainboozle you.
Okay.
No. The Brainboozling is... I mean, it's more of a visual art form. People would need to see what I'm doing, to see the way that I peer into your mind, and I take over the fibers of your actual brain, and I control... Look, I'll just explain a bit, because we've got a premiere coming up. We've already got 6 episodes in the can, and I'm very proud of the work. So I'll spill the beans, as they say. I'll tell you a little bit about some of our brainboozling. So first off, let me define for you, what does it mean to brainboozle? Brainboozling is when I, Bryan Bedford, use my powers of mentalism to control your actual mind. You become a puppet. You become a puppet of Bryan Bedford, and I can make you. I'll give you an example. So on episode 1, this is fantastic. We had to start with a bang. So on episode 1, I was introduced to this lovely couple from Surrey, Scott and I want to say Janet, and they're expecting a beautiful newborn baby. And I met them at the maternity ward. Mere moments after Janet had given birth to this, adorable little child, and I brainboozled them. And by that, I mean I erased their memory of birth. I erased their memory even of conception. I erased every
figment in their minds related to their newborn child, and I took away the baby. I physically took it away, and I took away their baby, and I had it replaced by a hedgehog. And now they think that they gave birth to an animal, to an actual animal, to a hedgehog.
That doesn't seem very appropriate. I mean, how did they react when you told them what you had done and gave them their baby back?
No. Oh, girl, no. I don't tell them. If I told them, it wouldn't have any kind of gravity. It wouldn't have any consequence. I mean, the art would be gone. No. They actually are going to raise a hedgehog as if it were, a human child. They brought it back to their flat.
What's going to happen to the baby?
The baby? No, the hedgehog's not a baby. It's like it's a fully grown hedgehog.
No, what did you do with the baby that they gave birth to, Brian?
Oh, I couldn't tell you. You'd have to ask the production team. I certainly didn't take it back to my home. I mean, what do you think I am, Tom Hanks? I have no use for a baby. Oh no, I don't know what happened to the human baby.
That's horrible. They wanted a child. They wanted to raise that child. That child had loving parents, and you just stole that away from the baby.
Come on, they barely knew the child. It was like. Actually, like maybe an hour after it had been born, when I did the swap, when I did the switcheroony. Anyway, that is what I call a great brainboozle. Mm-hmm.
I really don't think that's anything you should be doing at all. I mean, you should have charges pressed against you for kidnapping.
Oh, so now the woman that's talking about Andy clockwise as if he's a magician, you want to lecture me about what is or isn't magic?
I don't think committing crimes is magical, Brian.
Oh God, you sound like Interpol. Jesus, no, I tell you, I've actually been banned from 2 entire continents. I can't step foot in Africa again, and I can't go to Australia again. Not that I'd want to, but I can't go. Yeah, it was just for because before I had the television program, I just would do. I guess you could call it street magic. Sometimes I do a show in a theater, and I did some wonderful brainboozlings. For instance, this is one of my personal favorites. So I actually met a man in Melbourne, and I made him forget 40 years of his life.
What?
Yes, with a simple brainboozling, I made him imagine 4 decades of life. He imagined that he had a wife. He imagined he had 2 children. He raised them to adulthood. He imagined he had a job. He imagined all of these, really a quite nice life. But then I snapped my fingers, and he realized he had nothing. He has nothing. He lives on a beach. He's a bum. He's worthless. He drinks all day long. He's a fucking wino. I thought it was wonderful.
Wonderful. I mean, he must have been pretty upset. I mean, that doesn't sound pleasant.
He was. Yes, he was so upset. How did you know? He was crying. He said, "Oh, I just want my wife back. I want my children back. Oh, what was me?" And he ended up hanging himself. And apparently they blame me for some reason.
I mean, you are to blame. You should stop this immediately. What you're doing is highly immoral. No.
That is one of my all-time favorite brainboozlings. I'm going to recreate it, actually, episode 3. I went up to Manchester, and I did the same illusion. I did the same brainboozling.
Brian,
but this time...
You're a fucking sociopath. This is not okay.
No. I am not a sociopath. I'm a magician. Understand the difference.
There's nothing magical about what you're doing, Brian.
Okay, well, if you feel that way, I'm actually going to give you a little bit of insight right now. I told you I called you from location. I'm in Cardiff now. I'm out in Wales, and I'm actually outside of a funeral home. And this is really wonderful because there's about to be a service. It's a wake of some sort. But it doesn't matter because I am about to brainboozle the entire room of mourners.
No. Come on, Brian. You are not about to interfere with a funeral. That is way too far.
It's going to be brilliant. They aren't even going to know what happened. They're not even going to know that they even knew this porky. Here, I'll allow you to hear what I do.
You know what? No, I don't want to hear it, Bryan. This is revolting.
Hey, hold on. Hey, Miles, where the fuck is the devil costume? Where the fuck is the devil costume? I've got to wear the devil costume for this for the Brainboozled. You left it in the van. You fucker. You tosser. Yeah, I've got to go back to the van. I've got to get my devil costume. But yeah, trust me, this is going to be fantastic. I'll send you some footage. You can play it on your program.
Oh, no thank you. Whatever you're about to do, please don't.
Absolutely will. All right. Cheers.
Whoa. I don't even know, what to say about that. That was crazy.
That man is like a freaking predator. Like, I don't even know how he's legally doing the stuff that he's doing.
He's not. Apparently, he's been kicked out of 36 countries or something like that.
He should be kicked out of every country. He should be in jail.
By the time he's done with this, I wouldn't be surprised if he is. I mean, I had no idea that he was actually hurting people and a lunatic when we signed on with him for the commercials. But
yeah, I mean, I'm going to start a change.org petition. I mean, that's outrageous.
Well, speaking of though, we actually are contractually obligated to run this next commercial. Another guy that. We probably...
Please tell me it's not Bryan Bedford.
No, it's just Vinny.
Okay, well, never thought I'd say this, but thank God it's just Vinny.
Well, here we go. I'm going to play his new commercial.
All right.
It's me! It's Vinny V, baby! And if that name rings a bell, it's because I've been the premier handicapper at every sports book in Vegas since 1988! And now, I'm taking my talents to podcasting every week on Vegas Victories with Vinny V and Ray Ray Robinson. If you're tired of being bored into a coma by that sanitized plop on ESPN Radio and Fox Sports, and if you want to get your sports news and commentary from a bigoted, foul-mouthed pervert instead, come on, Vinny. I mean, nobody want to hear that foul-mouthed pervert mess, man. Do it over. Rewind it. Shut up, Ray Ray. It's called a niche. I mean, we're not exactly going for the Mike in the Morning crowd. Anyway, tune in every Friday night at 7:30 Eastern, exclusively on anchor.fm/Vegas Victories.
Okay, well, I gotta say, I mean, I'm glad at least Vinny's on his own network now. You know, I gotta give him some credit for that. And I actually listened to the last couple shows he did over on Anchor FM. The guy's, as crazy as he is, he's getting 3/4 of his picks right.
Oh no, don't tell me you're gonna start gambling again.
I mean, it's not gambling if it's a guaranteed bet. I mean, if you're getting 75% of your picks right, I mean, that's free money, as far as I'm concerned. So,
oh my God, whatever. Let's just get back to the headlines. What's up next?
All right. Yeah, I think this is as good a time as any. You want to play some Florida or the Field?
Ooh, yeah, let's do it.
All right, so I got a stack here. I'm sure you got your stack as well. Just to refresh everybody out there in the audience, we've got this new game that we like to play every week called Florida or the Field. Basically, we read a story, or read a headline that sounds like it could be a Florida man story because of how freaking insane it is, but there's a 50-50 chance that it's not, and it could be from anywhere else in the world. And then we challenge ourselves to guess which one it is. So I'll start. Here's the first one. I can't even get this. All right. So here's the headline. Naked man breaks into home, fights homeowner.
Ah, a classic.
Yeah. So, a man is in jail after police say he broke into a home while completely naked. But apparently one of the home's occupants heard a noise, And when they checked to see what it was, they found a 44-year-old naked man crawling into an open window. The homeowner ran into another room to alert one of the other home's occupants. And then the second...
Can I just say, that's like my worst nightmare. Like, anytime I hear a noise at night, like, I'm just thinking, oh my god, what if it's a 44-year-old naked man?
Yeah. Like, I mean, at least you know he's not armed.
That's true.
At least, hopefully, he's not. If he is, it's going to kind of stink when he uses it on you. But anyway, the two people that lived in the house, they fought the guy off. They ended up stabbing him in the neck with the knife. And the naked guy, he chased them outside of the house with a chair, like he's fucking Ric Flair or something. The two people that live in the house, they got into a neighbor's house. The naked guy is like outside, like doing the let me in. Trying to break into the other house, and when he gave up on that, he fled into an SUV. So he had a getaway car that was driven by a woman who I'm presuming was clothed.
This is a lot.
It's a lot.
This is a lot. And honestly, I feel like we covered a story really similar to this just a couple weeks ago when we debuted this game. I remember specifically talking about a naked man who had broken into homes.
I mean, there's naked people doing crazy stuff every week, it seems.
Very concerning. We're going to have to up our home security. Gosh, this is such a widespread trend that I'm almost kind of like not sure which way to go. But you know what? Honestly, I think I'm going to go with Florida. Just a gut instinct. Has to be.
Is that your final answer?
It is.
All right, you got it right.
Yay!
It was Florida for whatever reason. Florida. I mean, I get it. It's freaking hot down here, but still, like.
Where in Florida, though? Because I'm a little concerned now that it's happening in our backyard.
You know, I didn't even write that down. I can figure out. All right, let's see.
Okay.
I just pulled up the article again. So this happened in Jacksonville.
Not Tampa. Okay,
Yeah.
I'm all good with that.
Hey, that's practically Georgia. Yeah.
All right. I've got a good one for you.
Okay.
Get ready. Buckle up. Man seen on video riding on hood of semi-truck down busy highway.
Riding on a semi-truck?
On it. Yes.
Was this like a Fast and Furious movie?
Kind of looked like one, although this guy definitely did not look like a badass while doing this. He kind of like was in his underwear or something. It was very bizarre. Somehow the guy went for a 9-mile ride on the cab of the semi-truck. So he had stopped his own vehicle on the highway. He had pulled over or stopped or whatever, gotten out of his own vehicle, and then somehow found it possible. I don't know if there was traffic. I have no idea. Somehow he found it possible to just mount the hood of a semi-truck. He just yeeted himself right up on there, clung to the cab for 9 miles, and was pounding on the windshield with his hands and forehead.
Did it say why he did this?
Unsurprisingly, the semi-truck driver did not actually stop to ask this man why he was doing what he was doing. He just kind of kept driving. He was not persuaded to stop and have a discussion. So he only stopped when a trooper pulled him over and had the clinger committed to a psych ward.
You know, at least it ended, with a happy ending there. Jeez, I don't even know. There's actually a couple clues in this one. I think I can unravel it because first, you said that he was wearing his underwear?
It looked like it in the picture that I saw.
So if this was in Florida, I'd imagine he'd be naked. But the biggest clue that I see in this story is the fact that he was able to ride on this truck for 9 miles without flying off. Like, I don't know how the hell that's possible in Florida. People don't drive safely enough for you to be able to ride on top of a vehicle. I don't care if you're going down a residential street. You're going to go about 9 seconds. It's going to be like riding a bull. I feel like this had to be somewhere where they just have like really atrocious traffic and people at least have the common decency to like put on a pair of BVDs before they go and, commit a ridiculous crime. So as crazy as the story is, I'm going to go with the field. I'm going to say not Florida.
You would be Wrongo.
Really?
This actually happened on, I believe it was either I-95 or actually the Florida Turnpike in Boynton Beach. So
That guy is impressive if he can do that on a freaking turnpike. Jesus.
yeah, people do not slow down on the turnpike. So he must have hit like a rare patch of traffic or something. Is the only thing I can think of.
I mean, all I can think of is they need to like they need to reboot Jackass, but film it all in Florida.
Yes. Yes.
This could be on the first episode. All right. Well, let me see if I can stump you here. So this next one, cops say thief left behind his young son.
What?
So the police say they had an easy time tracking down a thief this past Friday because he forgot his own son at the scene of the crime. So this guy ran off with stolen goods and he left his 8-year-old at the store. So it didn't take the cops long to find him. They were just like, "Hey, kid, who's your dad?"
What a freaking amateur move. Like, if you're gonna take your 8-year-old with you to, like, steal from a store, which, like, clearly not a professional, at least train the kid. Like, give him an alibi, something. Jesus.
Train the kid to do the stealing for you.
That's what a real pro would have done. A real pro would have raised an antisocial Kevin McAllister type.
Yeah, I mean, they're not going to give the kid they're not going to charge him with anything. He's 8 years old. He does all the dirty work, and then, you buy him an ice cream or something.
Yeah, I mean, doesn't this kid know? I mean, he was raised by criminals. Doesn't he know that nobody likes to snitch? I mean, what the hell?
Oh, he's going to get a spanking when he gets
like, that's sad, actually. That's very sad.
All right.
This is screaming of, like, just clear unprofessionalism, amateur hour type shit, and I mean, I know that we have kind of like a drug problem here in Florida. Like, I kind of want to say, like, this could be drug influenced. At the same time, I'm kind of just thinking, you know what? I think the Florida career criminals would have done a cleaner job of this. So I'm going to go with not Florida. Not
Florida on account of incompetence. That's, that's like a backhanded compliment. So all of our listeners out there in Tampa, Orlando, Miami, we're not, making fun of Florida. We're putting you up there.
You're really good at being batshit crazy, is what I'm trying to say.
We're putting you on the pedestal of fucking idiots. But yeah, no, you actually got it right. Not Florida. And not only is it not Florida, it's not even in America. This was in Germany. Whoa. Okay, I was not expecting that. Yeah.
All right. Wow, crazy. All right, let's move on. I've got a good one for you. Urinating man causes melee after onlookers tell him to stop.
You can't stop midstream. Jesus.
Maybe he shouldn't have pulled his dick out in the first place. I mean, Jesus.
When you gotta go, you gotta go.
No, this one is truly chaotic. So police responded to the ruckus that involved as many as 15 people on a boat dock. Multiple witnesses identified 2 boat owners as the men who started the incident, with one who had whipped his dick out in front of women and children to start pissing, and was quoted as saying, "Hey, you can call this a pissing match." Now, the other man apparently defended his wee friend by shoving people who were trying to get in his face about it. Now, when the police arrived on the scene, they told the boat owners, "Hey, stay where you are. Like, don't you move that boat." They looked at each other. They were like, nah. So they immediately took the boat, noped right on out of there, left the dock right away. They were also caught immediately as police found them at the nearest bar-side dock. So incredible detective work all around. Yeah.
There's so much going on in this story, but this is a recent story, right?
I believe so, yeah.
2 words. Social distancing.
I think you mean social distancing.
Yeah, I mean, we've got social distancing anytime that there's 2 guys at a urinal. I mean, you don't get within 6 feet of a man when he's pissing. What the fuck is wrong with these people? They're going up and fighting people while they're midstream on a piss?
I mean, I don't know. It sounds like something like out of a TV show episode. It does not sound real.
I don't care if it's in public. I don't care if he's pissing off the Empire State Building. let him finish and then attack the man. Like, keep 6 feet in the meantime, or else.
I guess I kind of understand your logic. Like, not so much out of respect, but more from, like, the idea of, like, hey, I don't want to get pissed on.
Yeah, I don't want to see your dick, bro.
Right.
I'll kick your ass. I'll beat you up. But you're going to put that thing away first. And then we're going to throw down.
That would be,
Yeah, total lack of decorum. That's disgusting. These people should be ashamed.
They should.
But
they really should.
I think I know where they are because there were a couple clues in there. The biggest clue is this just happened on a dock. Well, that's not the biggest. The biggest clue is it involved public nudity. Public nudity, boating. It's got to be Florida.
And you would be correct. I had to leave out a lot of details about this story, and I couldn't get rid of the boat dock thing. I knew that was like almost a dead giveaway. Yeah, this is definitely Florida.
I mean, a lot of states have, boating docks, but a lot of states don't have, social piss-tancing, so. All right, let's see. I think we got, I got a couple more here. So, all right, let's see. This is a good one. All right, so here's the headline. Arsonist who sets fires at Motel 6 says accidents happen.
How many fires are we talking about here?
More than one. So a 42-year-old man was charged with second-degree arson. It was a couple weeks ago when he was caught setting multiple fires at a local motel. According to witnesses, he's been seen on multiple occasions attempting to start fires inside the building near the lobby. And
so they've seen him like deliberately, like,
yeah,
like what?
This happens like every other day, apparently. Like, you stay at this motel, you look out your window, you're probably gonna see this fucking pyromaniac. He's like lighting papers and rags and shit, and just like throwing them into the pile. I don't know how he's been allowed to do it multiple times, but finally.
I mean, that's worthy of a bad Yelp review in and of itself. Like, I'm going to hotels.com, I'm like, no, they got Crazy Randy over there, and he kept trying to set the place on fire. And that was
I've heard of a lot of problems, from, roaches or bed bugs or whatever. There's a lot of things that could be going wrong at a hotel, but I've never, ever read in a review, yep, they've got a pyromaniac. He's just like their local pyromaniac. He sets fire to a room, probably like 3 or 4 times a week.
Yikes.
But the best part is, after being arrested, this pyromaniac told police that he started the fires, but it was an accident. And then he told them, hey, accidents happen.
You know what? Legal defense of the century right there.
Yeah.
Whoopsie daisy. Whoopsie daisy. I just accidentally stumbled across this kerosene-soaked rag and took a match to it. Silly me. I'm just so clumsy. Okay. Yeah. This one, I don't know. I gotta go with my gut. It's super hot here in Florida, so it would have to be a complete lunatic doing this, but yeah, I'm gonna go with Florida.
Oh, I thought you were gonna get it wrong, but you got it right.
Oh, yeah! 3 for 3, baby!
3 for 3. It is Florida. I don't know why the hell this guy's starting fires in the middle of the goddamn summer when it's 98 degrees outside, but that's what he's doing, and I feel so bad for the people that work at this hotel, because literally they've got to be buying fire extinguishers like more often than they're buying toilet paper.
Yikes. I mean, I don't even know why he's fucking around with tissue paper and matches. All he's got to do with this heat is get a magnifying glass out and just point it the right way. I mean, honestly.
Hey, don't give him any ideas. I'm sure they're going to let him out any day now.
That's true. All right. Well, I've got a good one here for you. It's a little bit lewd, but, we'll go with it. So, headline is as follows. Pizza delivery driver arrested after allegedly masturbating at a Circle K.
Okay, I mean, maybe he really loves his job. I don't know, but I guess got one question on this one. Was this before or after delivering the pizza?
Ooh, very good question. Super important. And luckily, this was after his workday had finished up. So, he had, had a long, hard shift delivering pizzas from, Domino's or whatever. He'd stopped at Circle K to grab a drink and apparently jerk it in a 1996 Honda Civic that was parked outside. So, great evening all around. Very classy.
Everybody listening out there, if you ever feel like you've hit rock bottom, just, think, when was the last time you found yourself in a 25-year-old car outside of a fucking convenience store jerking off after delivering pizzas for $3 an hour?
Hopefully the answer is never, and if that's the case, you're doing pretty well.
You're doing better than this guy. Now, did it say what city he was in?
Yeah, obviously, but I can't tell you that because that's the whole point of this game.
I thought if I tried it on one of the later stories, I could get away with it. Okay, let me see. Circle K, more like Circle Jerk. Am I right?
Yeah. I had to refrain from making that one. Yep.
All right, let me think. Do they have Circle K's in Florida? I don't know if I've seen one down here. I mean, it sounds like such a Florida story, but I'm just gonna say no. I'm gonna say it's not in Florida.
You are off your game today, man. Really? I was really hoping you'd get that one. Yeah, this actually happened in the Villages.
Oh, wonderful. Isn't that the same place that the guy from the Blue Jays was jacking it? I remember, back in the spring?
Sure that was Dunedin, but I gotta tell you, the fact that this happened in the Villages actually makes perfect fucking sense. The Villages, also known for being a somewhat idyllic retirement community, is one of the most notorious places in Florida for the uptick of STDs, and apparently there's sexual deviance over there. Like, it is happening in the Villages. I don't know what they put in the water, but people are just like perverts out there.
Well, the good news is this guy couldn't catch an STD from jerking it in his Honda. The bad news is apparently you might catch an STD from getting delivery pizza. So be careful out there if you're in the Villages. Jesus, gross. I've actually got one more though, and it kind of follows that one up cleanly. Not because it's about public indecent exposure, but because it's about fast food. A man kills Burger King employee after his order takes too long.
Oh my God, that's dark.
And insane.
Yeah.
So I'm just
gonna... a Whopper ain't that serious, man.
Well, I mean, to be fair, Burger King is one of those things that you have to eat while it's hot, or else it's just completely ruined. So if you wait too long, if you let it go room temperature, you might as well just throw it away.
I mean, you might as well just throw it away to begin with. It isn't that fucking good when it's hot.
I don't know. They make good fries.
No.
I feel like at some point in time I've said, you know what? These fries are to die for. I would kill a man for these fries.
Really?
Well, I might have said it, but I didn't mean it. I mean, this... So let me just read this story. This is insane. So a woman who was upset that her Burger King order took too long, she got a man to come to the restaurant for her to shoot one of the employees.
This bitch called a hitman for Burger King?
Yes, and it was $40 worth of Burger King. So she's in the drive-thru. The restaurant's busy, so the drive-thru's kind of backed up. Customers had to wait longer than usual. It doesn't say how long, but apparently it was long enough because...
Well, she ordered $40 worth of food. She must have cleaned them right out. They must have ran out of microwaves.
Yeah, how much, Burger King is $40? You can eat pretty good on, $4 or $5 there. And it doesn't say that she had kids with her or anything. This is just one person trying to eat them out of all their burgers and fries. But anyway, she got so mad that they were taking so long that she got out of her vehicle. She started yelling that she's going to have her man come to the restaurant. So the employee, he just refunded her. He gave her back her $40. He asked her to leave. Well, she didn't leave. She waited in the parking lot for a few minutes. Then she drove away and she returned with this guy who demanded that the Burger King employee come out and fight him. So the guy did. He came out and fight him.
What?
So
Bad move. Bad move. That was not the right move.
No.
He should have pulled a bone quick and been like, security!
Yeah.
Security!
But a witness actually intervened. He stopped the fight. And then the hamburger hitman put the employee in a headlock and he started choking him. And then after they broke up the fight. The witness came and broke up the headlock. You'd think it would be over at that point, but no, that's when the guy went to his vehicle. He got a gun. He told the employee, quote, "You got 2 seconds before I shoot you."
What was the employee supposed to do in 2 seconds? They couldn't get her food out to her within 10 minutes. So what was he supposed to do with 2 seconds?
Yeah, you got to be reasonable. But yeah, 2 seconds later, unfortunately, they shot the guy dead. So ends sadly, but what a freaking crazy story, right?
Oh my God, that was a whirlwind. I'm just all over the place. My God, okay, I just, there were so many red flags that went up from, first red flag, I thought they handled appropriately. She's like, hey, if you don't get my food out to me, I'm going to have my man come over. You're going to have a problem. The employee was like, you know what? That's a red flag. I'm just going to give you a refund. I'm going to ask you to leave. Cool. Second red flag. She did not leave. Okay. That was a problem. I would have called the police at that time. They did not. Third red flag. Guy shows up. Problem. Okay. Says, fight me. Employee does. I just, you know what? Honestly, I hate to say it, but I kind of feel like the employee is a little bit responsible here. Like he made some bad calls. Okay. Yep. Not that he deserved to die or anything, but I feel like his death could have maybe been avoided. Ultimately, this story screams Florida. I don't know where the hell else this could have taken place. Maybe Mississippi, but my money's on Florida.
Florida, huh? No, this was in Orlando. All right, so...
Wait, hey!
All right, yeah, that was Florida. I thought I could... Yep, you got it. So, geez, what are you, 5 for 5? 4 for 4? What is... I've lost count.
My Florida senses are tingling. I can just feel it.
All right, well, let me get a chance. I think I've already lost, but let me just get a chance at redemption. Let me see if I can get one.
All right, I got one more for you.
All right.
So this headline is pretty unusual. It's just out of left field. So couple wins court battle to name their son Lucifer.
Lucifer.
That is the name they chose.
Okay.
Now, when the couple went to register their 4-month-old son's name, the court did try to stop them from going ahead with that name. They were like, hey, maybe you were unaware, but that name has already been taken by a pretty famous figure in biblical history, and it has a pretty negative connotation. They said,
like what else were they going to try? Like Adolf Hitler?
I don't know if that was on their backup list, but they were not accepting no for an answer. I mean, the court really tried. They were like, look, if you name him this, he's not going to succeed in life. He's never going to get a job. No teacher's going to want to teach him. The parents were completely unswayed. They told the court, hey, we're not religious, and we don't care that the name has been adopted by the devil himself.
We think it's pretty.
Right. They pulled the origin card. They were like, actually, the name means light bringer and morning in Greek, which is, of course, what everyone thinks when they hear the name Lucifer. I mean, to be fair, I do think of morning star, but not just morning, okay? Then they were quoted as saying, honestly, we just thought it was a nice name, a unique one. We didn't expect to get so much grief about it. Well, they better buckle up because they actually won their case. They're going to get a lot more grief as that child grows up.
Wow. I actually think this is a pretty easy one. Because I don't think that this would even be weird enough in Florida to make the headlines. Like, the only way this would be weird in Florida is if they could spell Lucifer correctly. So I'm going to go ahead and take the field. I think this was somewhere where, they'd actually care if you tried to do something satanic.
Yeah, you got it right. So I think you redeemed yourself a little bit here. Good call.
All right, awesome.
This one, to be honest, I couldn't quite tell in the article where exactly this took place, but I believe it happened in Derbyshire.
In England?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, usually if they go with a religious name over there, it's Muhammad. Looks like we got a call coming in. So.
Oh boy! All right. I'm a little traumatized from our last call, but I'll go ahead and try this one again. I'll bring them on. Area code 601. You are on the air. Tell us your name and where you're calling from.
Yeah, this is Reverend Jeremiah Jackson. I'm calling from Mississippi, and I cannot believe my ears. We don't have time for formalities, because you just said Satan is coming to Earth.
No, I did not say that.
Oh, no, Anita. I just heard you say Lucifer himself was born. He's coming into the world.
No, I said some parents chose the name Lucifer for their perfectly normal baby.
They chose. No, come on now. How many parents ever name a child Lucifer? I've heard them name a lot of funny names. I heard them name a child Antoine. I heard them name Jason. I heard them name Jamal. I heard them name Michael. I heard them name Paul. But I never heard nobody name their child Belial or Beelzebub or Satan or Lucifer.
Well, you know what, Reverend? That's why it's newsworthy. That's why we covered it on our show.
That baby is the Antichrist. You know what the Antichrist is?
I disagree with you, but yeah, I know what the Antichrist is.
No, you need to look at the Bible. You need to understand what's coming. It's the trials and the tribulations. We've already been living in them. There's a blast in the air. There's the explosions in the Holy Land. There's the trumpets. There's the pestilence and disease. It's spreading across the earth. And now Lucifer himself is being born. Oh, no. Reverend Jeremiah Jackson, I am going to put an end to that. So I'm going to put on the armor of the Lord. You know what that means?
No, I don't.
It means I'm going to go get some armor from the Army Navy surplus store. I'm going to go find this baby. I'm going to get a holy dagger. A holy dagger, that means it's been blessed by the oil that drips out of my luxurious Jericho. And I'm going to stab that baby, and I'm going to send it back to hell.
Oh, my God, Reverend, not okay,
Praise Jesus.
Stop it, that's unacceptable.
If you think that's unacceptable, Anita, listen to me. I need you to do me a favor. Do me a favor if you're going to go say this kind of nonsense, this kind of trash. You need to go to your Blockbuster video. You need to go to your Hollywood video. You need to get a movie called The Omen. Get a movie called The Omen. If they don't get that, get a movie called Rosemary's Baby.
Stop it. You know what, the Reverend...
And watch that movie.
This is just...
You'll understand.
This is just ridiculous. Okay, I'm not having it. We have another call coming in. This is absolutely insane.
It's probably Jesus. It's probably Jesus telling you a lie.
Whatever. I'm going to answer this other call. So,
Bring him on.
Hello, caller.
Hey, Jesus. Jesus, is that you?
I'm going to hang up. Hello, caller. You're on the air. Tell us your name and where you're calling from.
Yes. It is Archibald, Professor Emeritus, Archibald P. Canterbury of Wadsworth University. I'm calling from Connecticut. I'm calling to address that fool priest. Is that fool priest still on the line?
Yes, he is.
Hey, I'm still on the line. Well, who the hell are you? Who the hell are you? You talk about being a priest. You want to shut your mouth, priest? Now sit down, boy, and I shall teach you a thing or two about demons. You see, I am a parapsychological researcher. I have been studying demons for the last 50 years on this realm and on 666 realms across all of reality. Do you understand what that means, priest? Oh, hell no. Anita, you bringing on a devil worshiper? Is this man worshiping the devil?
What the hell's going on?
I do not worship the devil, boy. I command the devil. And if you think that some fool parents naming their child after an angel, a fallen angel, mind you, if you think that has anything to do with the Antichrist or the eschaton, then you've probably never cracked open a holy book in your life. But you're trying to say I can't read, motherfucker. I tell you right, hey. Listen to me, or else I shall bind you. I shall bind you, priest. I shall stick a succubus upon you. Hold on. What's a succubus? You say a succubus?
Whoa, Reverend.
A succubus? You don't know what a succubus is? You mean you talking like Cardi? Like Cardi B? I heard she got that wop.
Stop it,
God.
Reverend!
No, listen. Will you shut off that stupid priest line and let me address him as a foul dog that he is?
I honestly...
All right, what I shall do, in order to shut his mouth, in order to take him away from the Lord, I shall conjure up an evil spirit, a succubus. That's an evil, semen-stealing witch, and she shall burrow into his soul, and she shall suck his soul out of her sphincter. Do you understand what that means? You can turn his mic back on. Turn his mic back on.
You know what?
Hell yeah! Hell yeah! I like the sound of that. You gonna send me one of them succubuses?
What?
Absolutely. As long as I need you to disavow Christ. I don't need him. Yeah, Christ ain't never sucked nothing from me. All right, well, we've come to an agreement.
Wow. Okay, you know what? That's quite enough out of both of you. This is probably
Praise Satan.
the most insane call we've ever gotten. Goodbye.
That was like the craziest call.
That was the worst call we've ever gotten.
What the hell even happened there?
I don't know, but maybe if the Reverend has finally renounced Jesus, he will stop listening to our show and stop calling us.
Did he say praise Satan at the end?
I think he said what? I'm scarred for life.
You know, like, we're actually, like, we're running it. This is, like, literally normally where we'd end the show, but I've got more stories, and that gave me, like, a second wind. I got a couple more stories here. You want to just go? You want to keep going for a little while?
You know, honestly, anything that can take my mind off of what I just heard, I'm so down.
All right, so let's keep it going then.
Yikes. All right, moving on to a story that seems like it was ripped right from a Trailer Park Boys episode. 2 Detroit men are under arrest after trying to smuggle a boat full of weed into Canada, where weed is legal. Smuggling, however, not so much.
Like, why would anyone think that they'd be better off selling drugs in Canada than Detroit?
I mean, I don't know. I guess Drake smokes a lot of weed and he's from Canada.
That's one guy. I mean, Detroit's like a million people. And plus, I mean, you got Kid Rock. You got Eminem. I know he says he doesn't do it anymore, but, you know, I don't believe that story.
Good point.
Anyway, staying in Michigan, where apparently stupidity has been spreading like the plague, and speaking of drugs, because you'd have to be on drugs to vote for her, because these people elected Gretchen Whitmer, you know?
Oh my god, I mean, yeah.
Anyway,
gotta say.
This story actually doesn't have anything to do with Gretchen Whitmer. I just couldn't resist. But anyway, this is over in St. John's. There was a couple named Greg and Kirsten Offbecker. They felt forced to take the Norwegian flag decorating the front of their bed and breakfast down because they've been receiving dozens of complaints from angry guests and passersby.
Wait a minute, like, what's so wrong with Norway? I mean, they've never done anything to anyone ever, I don't think.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, Norway, it's just a Norwegian flag. You'd think that would be fine. But that's actually the point of the story, because the dumbasses complaining about this, they think that they're flying a Confederate flag.
What?
Yeah, I mean, I guess I could kind of see it. I mean, they're both red and blue. I mean, it's kind of...
They look nothing alike. I just Googled the Norwegian flag. I mean, this is a huge stretch. Like,
yeah,
I think they are on drugs. I think that's the reason why these guys were smuggling this shit into Canada, because clearly everyone's drugged out in Detroit, Michigan. Like, they've got enough.
Yeah, they can hallucinate a bunch of stars onto a Norwegian flag to make it look like a Confederate flag. But you know, you can't expect these people to be experts on geography. Half of them couldn't even find Ohio on a map.
These people literally felt compelled to take the flag down, like they were so inundated with complaints
they got like dozens and dozens of complaints and threats. I mean, they're lucky that nobody burnt their fucking into the ground in this day and age.
Yeah, honestly, I mean, I guess, I'm surprised they didn't have their business taken down with Google reviews alone. Like, oh my God.
And like Michigan of all places. What does Michigan have to do with the goddamn Confederacy? Like, come on, guys.
Yikes. Well, look, not only can people not tell the difference between two flags, soon, if Democrats get their way, our children won't be able to tell the difference between World War I and World War II.
Oh, yeah, because they're saying you can't reopen the schools because that's dangerous and evil now?
No, because Illinois Democratic State Representative LaShawn K. Ford is sponsoring a bill that would end the teaching of all history in Illinois schools. Just all history.
What kind of fucking Orwellian communist shit? So they're just not going to teach history at all. They're going to erase it.
Goodbye. Like all of the Orwellian communist shit going on these days, this brilliant move is being justified because apparently teaching children history leads to white privilege and a racist society.
I don't even have any comment for that, except for like this. Okay, so this senator, this state representative, I mean, he's a black guy, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he is.
So this white privilege led to him being an elected official that has the ability to threaten to like change the curriculum for everybody in the entire state of Illinois.
Yeah, it sounds like he's really been held back. Yeah, he sounds powerless. Really?
Yeah, this poor guy is practically a slave. Anyway, I'm just gonna move on before I, make fun of him all day. But let's just make this our last story.
Not that he doesn't deserve it. But
he does deserve it, but we've already ran a little long, so let's end with a bang because I've got a ridiculous story. It's still in the Midwest, in the formerly beautiful city of Mogadishu North.
What?
Of course, I'm talking about Minneapolis. I don't think
I
don't think they've officially changed the name yet, but they might as well. Because
it's only a matter of time.
It's only a matter of time. I mean, I'm sure the warlords are just around the corner. But the Minneapolis Police Department, it apparently still exists, at least for the time being. They sent letters out to all the residents of one district in Minneapolis. They sent them a letter warning them that they need to prepare to be robbed.
Okay. Okay. There's no way I heard that right. These police officers are still getting paid.
Yeah.
And what they're getting paid to do is sending letters out telling citizens they're going to be robbed?
Yeah, and I'm not talking about a tax hike. So there's been a huge surge in crime in Minneapolis over the last few months. So a surge in carjackings, robberies, assaults, even murders, pretty much anything that you can think of. And rather than doing something about it and like going after the criminals, they're sending out letters telling people, look, you've got to be ready. We got to be ready for what's coming. Here's some great advice. I'll just read off some of these. There's like a bunch of bullet points. Do not walk alone. Carry only items you need. Carry less cash. Be prepared to give up your cell phone, purse, and wallet. And of course, do not fight or argue with the criminal. Do what they say.
You know what? I've got another item to add to this list, actually. How about move the hell out of Minneapolis? My God!
Yeah, I mean, sadly, I can't argue with that at this point. But, I mean, hey, that's going to happen, when you let people burn and loot your city, and then your response is to talk about disbanding your goddamn police department. Like, I don't even... Oh, hey, look, we're actually getting a call. This is a Minneapolis number, 612. Do you want to just want to take it?
I mean, I guess we really can't pass that up. This is somebody that'll actually have something relevant to say about this story, so
yeah, maybe they'll
give
us
it
some
a shot.
insight.
All right. Hello, caller. You're on the air. Tell us your name and where you're calling from.
Yeah, can you hear me okay on the... I've never called the radio before. I don't know. It sounds kind of echoey.
Yeah, no, I can hear you just fine. Who is this?
Okay. Yeah, my name's Pete. Pete Peterson. I'm actually calling from Minneapolis. you were just talking about us up here, and I don't know. I just thought maybe you could help me. I just don't know.
Gosh, well, I mean, I don't know how I can help Pete, but, I mean, why don't you tell us what's going on?
Well, I mean, I just kind of feel a little bit conflicted, and I also feel just, I don't know, I hate to say it, but I'm really scared. I mean, I got this letter you're talking about from the MPD, and I mean, my family, I mean, I don't even know how to tell them that, I mean, the police, they say, basically we just got to lie down and take it. So, I had to tell my kid, I had to tell my wife, I said, look, the police, they sent us this letter, and basically, we're going to have to we're going to have to prepare ourselves. We're going to get robbed. They might kill us. I mean, what would you do? I mean, you don't live in Minnesota, right?
No, I don't. But, I got to tell you, Pete, unfortunate as it is to say, if you have any way possible to leave Minneapolis, I would be leaving as soon as possible.
No, I can't. I mean, I got a job here, and, I've lived in Minnesota my whole life. I mean, I couldn't imagine, but it's just scary. I mean, I know that we deserve it. I know we did something wrong, to put all these people in such a bad, we oppressed on them, and, we were so bad to these blacks. I mean, I know that, we didn't have slavery in Minnesota, but, basically, I mean, we treated them, like slaves, and so now I guess we got to pay the price. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I'd feel bad if I fought back, I don't want to be a racist.
Wait, Pete, I mean, I'm just a little confused because Jay went to school in Minneapolis and he never mentioned anything like this. I mean, did you?
Oh, I feel so bad for him. I know that he, I don't know how he got into school. I mean, I don't think we normally let him go to college, but
that's pretty alarming to say. I mean, did you witness racism? Have you perpetuated racism in any way? I mean,
I'm white, so yeah. So I'm racist.
Wait, all you did was be white?
Yeah, and worse, I'm Swedish, so basically I feel kind of like whatever's coming. I mean, and on some level, I must have done something to deserve it.
Did you ever turn anyone down for a job or discriminate on anyone because of their race, or call anybody an ethnic slur?
I couldn't do that. No way. No. I don't know. I called my buddy Joe a hoser one time.
Okay, well that's not racist, so I don't understand.
I mean, he was being a hoser.
Right, but I mean that's not racist.
I think one time when I was in third grade, I think maybe I called Mike I think I called him a dummy.
Okay, Pete. Well, I got to be honest with you. You sound like,
and he's an Asian fella.
Okay, but you didn't call him that because he was Asian, did you?
No, he bit me.
Okay, so I mean, I got to tell you, Pete, you sound like one of the nicest people that's ever called into our show. I don't think you have anything to feel guilty about, and I certainly don't think anybody should be robbing you or attacking you for any reason.
Well, no, because I mean, then how come the mayor says that we deserve it, and the police they say we deserve it, and I saw what that guy did to that to George Floyd. I mean, that guy was an upstanding citizen, and I don't know. I just feel like if they if I'm next, you ever heard of karma?
Yeah, I know about the concept of karma, but I don't think that's what's happening here, Pete. I really, really don't.
It's karma because, for being white, I guess.
I mean, being white is not a good or bad thing. It's just how you were born.
My kid was, he was going to school the other day on the Zoom, and he learned this phrase, and I think it really, it kind of resonated with me. His teacher taught him it. He's in third grade. He said, "Being white is not all right," and I agree. We're bad.
I don't know, Brian, or Pete. I just don't know. I'm not a psychologist, but this doesn't sound right to me. I really don't know what else to tell you, but it looks like we have another call coming in. I'm going to pick it up. Maybe this other caller has some advice.
I hope it's not that devil guy again. I heard it earlier. It's some crazy guy.
Yeah, hopefully not. But maybe this person will have some advice for you, because I really don't know what to tell you. I don't think you should be feeling the way you're feeling.
Yeah, I'll listen to anything. Yeah.
Okay. Hello, caller. Yeah, you're on the air. Tell us your name and where you're calling from.
Oh, well, hi, it's Dr. Larry. I'm calling from Oklahoma, and is my friend Pete still on the line with you?
Yeah.
Oh, wonderful. Pete, my name is Dr. Larry. I'm a psychologist. You know, you might have heard me on the radio.
Wait,
my God. It's Dr. Larry from It's Okay? Yeah, that's me. It is nice to meet you, Pete. How are you? Oh, my God. I can't believe I'm talking to Dr. Larry. Man, my wife, she listens to your program all the time. You really help us a lot. Oh, well, you know, I'm going to help you again, because I was listening to the Morons show, and I heard you talking, Pete, and I gotta say, it sounds like you're getting a little bit worried. Is that right? Oh, geez, I gotta tell you, I'm really worried. I don't think I've ever been. Shut up, Pete. I'm gonna do the talking, because you said all I need to hear, and I'm gonna induct you into the no worry army, because it's important that you understand, Pete. It doesn't matter if the police are telling you to bend over and take it, because you work hard. You got a lot of, I'm sure you got a lot of things. Pete, can you tell me, Pete, what do you do for a living? I work for 3M. I'm a software engineer. A software engineer? Oh, that's wonderful. I bet you make a lot of money. How much money do you make? Can I tell him? I don't know if I should.
Yeah, Dr. Larry, that's a little personal.
I need to know. Do you want me to help this man? Yeah, I do need some help. Can you let him help me?
I mean, Pete, it's up to you what you tell him, but I don't think he needs to know that.
All right. So tell me right now, Pete, how much money does Pete Peterson in Minneapolis, how much money do you make every year? I make about $160,000. Plus I also have some investments. Oh, that's wonderful. That's wonderful. You got investments too. That's good. So you're making some pretty good money, Pete. That's good. I bet you got a lot in the bank. I bet you got some assets too. Tell me, do you own your own home? Yeah, I got a house. Oh, wonderful. How much is your house valued at?
Dr. Larry, is that really, relevant here?
No. Listen, he needs help, and I have to know in order to help him live his life. So, Pete, tell me, how much is your house worth? Well, I just got it appraised back in May. We were going to do a refinance. It was like $365,000. Oh, wonderful! $365,000. That's good, Pete. That's good. Let's see. What kind of car do you drive? Do you own it?
Dr. Larry,
I need to know.
Let's wrap it up here, okay?
Yeah, I got a 2016 Subaru. I just got my wife a minivan, a 2020 Toyota. Oh, that's good. I got a skidoo. What the hell's a skidoo? It's like a snow machine. All right, whatever. So all together, it sounds like you're worth a lot. Is that right, Pete? I don't know. I mean, okay, Pete, this is exciting. This is exciting because I got to ask you a question. Now, what would you do if George Floyd kicked in your door and put a knife to your throat and said, "You got to give me everything that you own"? I'd probably tell him I'm sorry, that we killed him. That was really You're talking about a zombie. You're crazy. Anyway, listen to me. That's all I need to know, because it sounds to me that you've got a case of the pussies. You got a case of the pussies, Pete, and you're going to give away everything you have to the next man that breaks into your house. But I can protect you, and I can protect your family, and all I need from you, Pete, is one thing. Oh, tell me, what do I got to do, Dr. Leary? I'm really scared. All right, you got to sign over your assets.
What?
I know this guy. He'll protect you. His name's Lawrence Rabinowitz.
You know, Larry,
that's
Dr. Larry,
R-A-
no. That is,
Okay,
you cannot steal
hold on.
this
How do I
man's-
spell? No, I'm gonna watch over it. I'm gonna guard
Pete,
it for
no,
him,
don't
so
do
he
not
won't give
sign
it
over
away.
your assets to Dr. Larry. This is absolutely inappropriate. Pete, I'm
Here,
gonna disconnect.
He's gonna hang up on me, Pete. I need you to call 1-800.
I'm just gonna.
It's
No,
okay.
absolutely not.
1-800.
Okay, oh man, I think I stopped it on time. Did he get the whole number out?
Oh my god, I don't know. Like, can we block his number? I mean, honestly, that is...
He's a sponsor.
at this point, he's, like, practically a criminal. Like...
They're all criminals.
I can't take it anymore. I really can't. We have to call the show.
Yeah, thanks everybody for tuning in. We'll see you live next Monday, 7 o'clock, same place, Facebook, YouTube, DLive, Twitch, wherever else I can figure out where to stream this thing. Thanks for hanging out with us. We'll see you next week.
See ya.
Brother, you better get down on your